Hey guys, I'm Bella, the Maker Mama boss lady behind Fiverr and Fox, and this is episode 39 of my podcast. I am mostly a crochet designer. I am a crochet designer, but I knit as well, and this is where I talk about all of the things. You can find everything you need to know about me linked down below the video, blog, Instagram, designs, patterns, all that good stuff. There's also show notes to anything I'm going to talk about here over on my blog. It will be linked below as well. And if this is your first time checking out my channel, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you. And if you've been here for any amount of time, thanks for coming back, guys. You're amazing. So I put on this shirt for the purpose, now I'm looking in the screen, you can't even see it. I put on this sweatshirt for knowing I was podcasting tonight. So I'm just going to do the awkward necklace lift here for you. But it says Crochet at Home Mom, which is kind of like a Maker Mama boss lady. And it's by Crafting for Weeks, Kelsey. And I don't know if she has the same one in stock still, but she's had it in several different styles and types over the last year or so. So check out her shop on Etsy. Highly recommend. It's held up really well. And it's cozy. And it was a just yucky rainy day here. It's like the 4th maybe, I never say the date, 4th maybe or so of October 2021 when I am recording, and it was just rainy and cold and not like clean crisp fall today, so sweatshirt was necessary. I've also been wearing, I have knit socks on, I've been wearing knit socks for the last couple weeks, and I finally have accepted that I want to be the person that wears socks and Birkenstocks in public. I don't know if I've talked about it on here before, but I can't show you my foot without knocking over my whole setup. I don't think, but I have. I can show you my shoe. These Birkenstocks, those ones. Ooh, look at that footprint. That's delightful. I forget what those ones are called. Doesn't say on there, does it? I don't know. They're not the Arizonas. They're the ones with the 3 straps. That was probably a really loud shoe drop. I apologize. But growing up, I was very adamant that one does not wear socks and sandals. And all of my fellow homeschooled people will hear me on this, but I was not going to be that homeschooler who was wearing socks and sandals. And now, like, I have all these cool knit socks and I want to see them. And like, sometimes you can see them peeking out of the top of my boots, and I don't really like the way they look with like sneakers. They kind of get like bunchy and weird with jeans on. So yeah, I've been wearing them with my Birkenstocks, and this is like the first time I've like left the house in them. Recently, I used to wear them around the house like slippers, but the last week or so I've been wearing all my knit socks and going, I mean, in public to like the grocery store and the chiropractor, not like, you know, major life events or anything, but yeah, I wear socks and sandals now, just now. So sorry to all my siblings who I spent years telling them that that was just totally unacceptable and I had to go change. So I wear socks and sandals, and hashtag Bella's Birkenstocks on Instagram. Admin. Let's talk about admin. So new video came out last Friday. If you missed it, I covered it was basically like a crash course on how to be a pattern tester. Pattern testing 101, if you will. And I talked about how to pattern test for me, what a pattern tester is, what's expected of a pattern tester, some examples of like great photos, what I'm looking for in pattern testers, and just answered a whole bunch of questions that I've gotten via email and Instagram over time. So I figured if enough people are asking the question, like, you guys want answers, so I made a video. So whether you're new to pattern testing or someone that isn't really sure what pattern testing is, or you've thought maybe you'd like to try it, be it for me or any designer, and a lot of it applies to both knit and crochet as well. So go check out that video. It is in my tutorials, tips and tutorials and tips playlist, with lots of other helpful content. So that is out now, and I did it as a premiere, but it is forever on my channel. If you want to go check it out and have any questions about pattern testing, you can drop them below that video, and hopefully I will be able to provide some answers as well. I hope it's a good resource for you guys. The only other thing admin-wise that I wanted to mention is, I believe, so this video comes out on the 8th. So I think the next Friday would be the 15th. Friday the 15th of October 2021. I'm going to be, if I get my act together and photographing it all, doing a destash over on my Instagram destash account, which is fiber.and.fox.destash. It's a mouthful. But I have a bunch of yarn, both kind of a variety of like luxury yarn and like acrylic yarn. So there's something probably for everybody in there. I also am going to have some stitch markers. I have possibly some books, possibly some knitting needles. Definitely some faux fur pom-poms that I've made faux fur for making faux fur pom-poms. Have a tutorial for that as well. That's really popular right now come fall. So that stuff, and I think that's about it. But I'm gonna be posting it over on Instagram on the actual account, individual posts for each item, and then there'll be rules listed there. So if you're interested, I'm not sure what time I'm gonna do it yet, so go jump over to that fiber.and.fox.dstash Instagram account and be following there. Maybe turn on the notifications. I think you can do that still. Instagram, you're a beast. Instagram was down all day today. They're kind of in some deepish trouble. So yeah, that being said as well, if ever Instagram ceases to exist, or I cease to exist on Instagram, it's a great idea to not only be following me here on YouTube, but to be subscribed to my mailing list, which is always linked down below the video as well, because then you don't lose contact with me. The internet has been a wild and crazy place as of recently, so if you're worried about losing me, or maybe you're not even seeing my posts on Instagram, but they're right there, like, algorithms are frustrating. So if you're on my mailing list, you will get an email from me basically every Friday with new content and patterns and tips and resources and crochet, maker mama, boss lady, not really knit stuff, but fiber art stuff. So be following or subscribe to that if you're ever thinking that maybe you want to know where I'm at in the world at all times. No, not that. But yes, that is my admin section. Thank you for coming. Designs. So the Fields cardigan is still in testing. It is with testers. But since sending it out to testers, I have gotten this sample of my next pattern made. I'm trying to flatten it all out here for you. It's unblocked as of yet, but I'm going to show it to you because I'm really, really excited about it. And it's mostly written up. So it should be coming soon for a tester call. Go watch the pattern testing video. But looking at the screen because it's so pretty. Look at the stitch. Hopefully that's focusing. Yes. So this is the Through the Rain cowl. And as of right now, like I said, it's not blocked, so it is going to be a little bit larger. But it is crochet, and it's got a kind of mosaic knitting kind of, I'm trying to look at myself and focus it. There we go. A mosaic knitting kind of feel to it. But it is crochet. And I am just, I bought the yarn for it. When did I buy this yarn? In the spring, I think I got the mini skein set, but it's something that I've had in mind to do since probably last fall. So I'm so glad. I'm going to put it on for you now, even though it's not blocked, just to give you an idea. It is definitely a longer cowl. So there's definitely a lot of ends in here too. Again, it's going to block out, so it will not be a struggle to get over your head. I just didn't want to wet it and then not be able to show it to you, but it's going to be more or less of something like this, where it's nice and cozy up around your neck, plenty of fabric there. It isn't fingering weight yarn, but the way that the stitch is done, it's kind of almost more like a DK weight, definitely thicker than just a fingering. It's got a nice density to it because it's not really color work, but it's got that sort of density going on. I'm sorry, I can't stop looking at myself because I just love this cowl. Okay, I'm gonna take it off. Actually, I can just leave it on. Yeah, let's just wear it the rest of the time. Why not? It's kind of not that cold out, but I'm gonna wear it. So this is the Through the Rain cowl, and the yarn that I used for it is by Lane and Lotus. The main color is Lane and Lotus. On her high twist base, the colorway is the Mist, and it's 75-25. Fingering weight, as I said. And then the mini skein set was her Moody Rainbow set on her 4-ply base. Those are the colors. I had to rip the package open, obviously, to get to the yarn. So it's not looking as pretty as it was packaged up. It was nice and flat when Jen, sold it. But she does, to my knowledge, still have both of these in her shop. So it doesn't so much matter what base you get the main skein on, but I kind of like, I don't know if you can see, but I like the stitch definition of the 2-ply high twist as the main color, the gray, with the 4-ply mini skein set. I feel like it kind of pops really nicely. But yeah, you're basically going to need a skein of fingering weight yarn, 100 grams. This one is 463 yards. So something in that general range. There will be more information on this later on, but I thought I'd share now in case you are interested, because I know Jen still has them. And then the mini skein set is a 7 rainbow 20 gram mini skein set. But here's the thing. I have a bunch of yarn left over. Because first of all, I mean, there's 7 rainbow stripes in there. I could not have made them much larger, or the cowl would have been, you know, real big. There's just sheds all over me of my own and of my cats and everything. But yeah, so I have a decent amount of yarn left of each of the mini skeins. Not really anything left over of the main skein, but leftover of the mini skein, because my intent is to make the cowl for my daughter as well in a smaller size. Normally, I only offer adult size patterns, because I don't have the brain capacity to grade children's size like garments, but a cowl I can manage. So I'm going to be releasing, I think, I haven't decided if it's all going to be one pattern or if I'm going to release them both separately, leaning more towards separately with maybe a bundle deal if you get both and want to do both. But I'm planning to do a toddler size and a child size as well, or like a youth size, and then the adult size. With the intent that if you had a 100 gram skein of the main color, you would then have enough left over with a 20 gram mini skein set. I just like showing you things up close. 20 gram mini skein set to do either a child or a youth size as well with another main color. I'm going to try to do, where is it? It's Jojo sneezing, if you can hear that. This one. Whoop, it fell off. I'm going to try to do the toddler size with the 50 gram skein. So I have a one-of-a-kind color from Silver Key Stitches, who is another Connecticut dyer. And I'm going to try to do the toddler one in this with the rainbow again. And then the child size, I intend that you're going to need another 100 gram skein. But the nice thing is, if you just want to do the adult, you could also use 10 gram minis instead of 20 gram if you don't want to have the leftover and you don't want to like work it into a pair of socks or something. And you can also do the pattern in 2 full skeins. And then, yeah, I'm going to try it out in a gradient yarn as well. So if you wanted to just do like a main color and then a contrast color and like do a gradient or a variegated as the background, I think that would look really cool too. Because I know not everybody's into rainbow, but why aren't you? I love rainbow. So yes, I'm going to be doing a tester call for this soon, probably get the pattern ready. I have to actually math out. I'm going to make the toddler size. I'm not going to make the child size. I need to math those out and get that done. Probably end of October, tester call for that. So go pop over to that tester video, double check on that stuff. And yeah, I'm going to be looking for some testers in all 3 of those size ranges. And it would be like bonus points if you wanted to do like mommy and me sets. I would love that. So that's going to be coming very soon. And like I said, the Fields cardigan is still in testing and will be coming out hopefully in December. For finished objects, I have a pair of tiny socks. And I don't know that I love them, but it was some yarn that I got in like a thrift store, not grab bag, but like a sorted bag of sock yarns for like $3 or $4. And I think I got 3 yarns, so relatively cheap for sock yarn. And there's a couple more in that basket down there that I'm going to work through. But I made some toddler socks because toddlers outgrow socks very quickly, and I'm not committed to any particular fit yet. So these are kind of funky. Let me show you the color. So the yarn itself is, and I don't know if this color is discontinued or not because it was a thrift store yarn, so I don't know. But Patton's Croy Sock Stripes in the colorway Mulberry Stripes. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Even when I bought it, I wasn't a huge fan of the brown and the like purpley blue in there. The mulberry, I don't know. And just I don't like a random, I mean, I guess it's a reasonably even stripe sequence, but I kind of like when the stripes are all the same. I've learned is my preference, but again, it was like $1 for, you know, a pair of socks. So I'm fine with that. I do not remember, I think I talked about it more last time, what I cast on and whatnot. I was on size 2 needles, US size 2. I think I cast on 52 stitches, decreased down to 50, and then decreased down to 48 or something like that. Because it's tricky. Like, these are going to fit in her snow boots, but they're not going to fit in like regular shoes because Patton's Croy is thicker. Or they would make really cozy winter house socks, and they're going to definitely be a little more oversized, but the last socks I made her were too small. So it's tricky. I think I'm just going to make her a bunch of leg warmers, honestly. She wants socks. She does like the socks. She will wear them. But they don't fit super well in her toddler shoes other than snow boots. And how many pairs of snow boot socks do you actually need when you go in the snow like a couple times a week? So probably going to make some more leg warmers because she wears those a lot. But yep, these are done. Finished object, mulberry socks. And then we have a half finished object. Almost finished object because I have 1 3/4 socks done. But this is, woo, those are Lisa Frank-esque. I don't know if that was my best showing off of socks. I'm still trying to figure out the like range of the camera. I definitely just hit myself in the mouth with a sock blocker. Still just kind of trying to figure out all the things. But these are Patton's Croy socks again. This was sent to me by, oh, and I should have said the last one. I did the toes in flax, the gray. And this was 150 gram skein for 2 socks. The color, this colorful yarn was sent to me in an assortment of yarns from a viewer friend, Emily Louise, sent these to me. This is Mexicala. Can you see that? Mexicala stripes, and then the Patton's Croy socks label, in case you weren't sure. Oh, their gray color is flax, which is what I just throw in for heels, toes, and cuffs whenever I don't have enough yarn. So I made a short-ish pair of socks for myself. Normally when I make them regular length, they're like up here on the blocker, but these will fit. I'm sorry, I'm still just trying to figure out the new camera. But these will fit in boots, but not like go up to the top of the boots. They're comfortable. This is going to be real bold in my Birkenstocks, but not colors I normally would choose for myself. The yellow definitely, and I do like orange, but this is like safety cone pumpkins. So it's a little vibrant, and I was going to make them for my daughter, but then I was like, again, she grows out of them so fast. How many pairs of socks does she need? And this would be a really intense pair of leg warmers. So yeah, I made myself socks, and I'm almost done with the second one. I just need to do the toe. Got my little rainbow. Focus on the rainbow. Rainbow. Got my hands in the way. Bella has a new camera. Rainbow stitch marker from Lane and Lotus as well, which is one of my favorites. I don't use Progress Keepers very often, but yeah, that rainbow one's fabulous. So I do use light bulb stitch markers religiously, but Progress Keepers, fancy ones, not really. So these are almost done. These are my, if we're counting toddler socks, 12th pair of socks for the year. 10th, I think, if we're not counting toddler socks, but hey, whatever, they're still socks. So I'm very excited about that. And I do have more yarn from Emily down there that I'm going to be casting on soon. What I did for this one is US size 2 is what I usually use for the Patton's Croy because it's thicker. It's more like sport weight. I usually do my other socks on 1s. Actually, they might be on 1.5s. Are they 1.5s? I may have lied to you. Not that it really matters because everybody's gauge is different anyway. Yeah, they're 1.5s. 2.5 millimeter. So, okay, I do my regular socks on 1s and my Patton's Croy ones on 1.5s. Cast on 56 stitches for my foot. Did, I don't remember how many rows for anything. But that's what I use the stitch markers for. But the stitch pattern that I did, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of fun. I just did knit 3, slip 1, and then knit the next round, and then knit 3, slip 1. But I was slipping the slips purl-wise, as if to purl. And I kind of wish that I slipped them knit-wise because then that twists them, I think, and they would have popped out more because they're kind of, you can see them, but I wish they were, I think it's showing up better on camera than it is in person, actually. But I kind of wish they were popping out more because I really like the slip stitch detail. But yeah, this isn't an actual pattern. It's just a bunch of slip stitches thrown into a sock, and I think it looks really cute. So one last time up close because I can. Ooh, look at that. Look at that sock. Look at me. I'm having too much fun. This is intense with that cowl. Stop looking at yourself in the screen, Bella. The only other thing I have on my hooks right now, do I not? I'm just gonna say I don't have any knitting projects. I'm knitting socks. Bella, what are you talking about? I don't have any garment projects going on. I am still waiting on my custom order of Fiber for the People to cast on my second Fields cardigan, crochet my own pattern again. But right now I am working on, in good golly gracious, this is going to be a labor of love. Looks like a seal flipper at the moment. Attached to 2 skeins of yarn. It's in a tiny bag and it's kind of bedraggled looking. And there's yarn coming out here because I did the swatch and then I reused it. But okay, so it looks kind of like a seal flipper. But this is what will be the child size feather wing shawl by Crafty Intentions. I'm going to put a picture in because you're not gonna get the full feel off this. But I left off in the middle of a row too because I got a phone call last night and then I kind of just dropped everything and I don't even remember where I was. But this, okay, so this is for my daughter. I'll talk about the yarn in a minute, but this is for my daughter. She wants to dress up as a Mama Owl, Princess Owl for her birthday. We're having her little friends are having a dress up party. We don't celebrate Halloween and her birthday is in November, so I figured that we'd do a dress up party instead. So we're doing a little dress up thing. She, when asked, wanted to be a daytime blue Mama Owl, Princess Owl. You know, we own Moana and Elsa costumes, but no, let's be a Mama Owl, Princess Owl in daytime blue. Not anything you can buy anywhere ever, which is totally fine because I want to be that mom that makes costumes. But I didn't have the brain space. I probably could have figured it out, and I looked at Etsy on some stuff. Probably could have figured out how to make an owl shawl myself, but I'm going to use the pattern for the, I guess they're supposed to be like angel wings, as owl wings, and they're gonna be owl wings. That's fine. Not shaped quite like an owl, but. So I'm going to attach it to the back of her princess tutu and make little wrist straps for it so she can soar through her party. But yeah, the pattern itself, it's by Crafty Intentions. This is the first time I've followed one of her patterns, but I do know that she is predominantly a amigurumi maker. So maybe that's, I don't think I've ever actually followed an amigurumi pattern. I did amigurumi for a long time, but I did my own patterns. Or my own winging it designs. I'm trying to untangle this, but it won't be untangled. So as you can see, there's some definitely interesting things going on in here shape-wise. This is not just a straightforward shape. And creating the wings it's like short rows, if you're familiar with short rows. You can't really see up close, but there's tons of decreases in shaping and funky decreases in there, like single crochet, half double crochet, 3 together over a short row decrease, funny stuff that isn't standard stitches. And the pattern itself is 99 pages, which I appreciate the detail. It is very detailed, but literally I don't think, maybe would it be alternating or opposite? I don't even think the 2 sides of the wings are going to be the same. So literally it's row by row, number by number, stitch by stitch, random, do 15 half double crochets and then 4 single crochets and then a decrease and then 14 back loop stitches. And I'm making up these numbers, but that's what the pattern's like. So there's not a single bit of mindlessness to it at all, which is understandable because you're shaping wings. So the fact that she created this out of her brain, and she has an adult size version that is, I think, multiple layers, so it's even more complicated. This one's 99 pages. It's written, I think, from size 2 to maybe 14 years. But the pattern itself doesn't change stitch counts. Instead, you change your gauge and your yarn weight. So what I'm using is, I think I'm doing the size 3 in, which should be DK based on her recommendations, but I'm doing it with Knit Pick Stroll held double, which is fingering weight. And I got gauge. I tried to contact her. I didn't hear back yet. So I kind of just started, which I may regret, but I couldn't find in the pattern whether the gauge was supposed to be blocked or not. And I figured, she mentions later on, maybe pick a yarn that's going to have some drape to it so that if you wanted to block it, it would block out nicely in drape. But I feel as an amigurumi designer, she probably doesn't block swatches because you don't block amigurumi. So there was nothing the gauge was in there for each size, but it didn't say whether it was unblocked or blocked. So I got gauge unblocked. So we'll see. I'm not even sure what part of the wing, like, or the overall shawl I'm doing right now. I'm not sure if I'm starting from the middle or the end, or really, I really don't know. So I'm just making my little sail flipper and having a good old time. So I'm holding, what do we got? Knit Pick Stroll fingering weight in the colorway See You Later is the darker one. And Stroll in the color Ice Sculpture is the lighter one. These aren't exactly, these are a little more teal than I wanted. Like her princess dress is like this powdery blue, which she calls daytime blue, kind of like the wall, which, by the way, in case anyone's ever wondering why my wall is bright blue, we moved in this way. I didn't paint it. This is technically my husband's office. When I have my own office, it will not be daytime blue, but I'm going to be edging it out in Swish DK, which I won't be holding double, in the colorway Arctic. So I'm hoping, I'm really not sure how this is going to play out with the two held double, but I'm hoping like the two sides of the wings won't be like completely different, because obviously this is going to have this really dark part in it when I get to the end of it, which might look crazy. But she did recommend using a gradient, and I couldn't find like a solid light blue that I liked. Like this is definitely going to be tealy-ish. So I couldn't find from Knit Picks or elsewhere a light blue that I really liked in something that was going to block out and I could ship quick and get started. So that is what I'm doing. It's just going to be a dress-up thing, so it's not like it needs to be a perfectly fitted garment, but I am hoping that it fits well, is her wingspan-ish and slightly larger, and that she has a great time living her owl dreams. So, yeah. And I don't want to like steer anybody away from the pattern, because that's not that it's a bad pattern. Like, it seems to be very well written, and very detailed and step-by-step, and there's a lot of photos and stuff included as well. But it's not written in the style that I'm used to, and I don't know if that's because of the amigurumi stuff, and it's just, there's like no repeating of anything ever, so it's a little tiring, and I was trying to like watch TV with my husband and work on that, because I don't really have any like complete silence time ever, so unless I wake up before my whole family to work on this owl shawl, I mean, she knows it's coming, but I can't work on it during the day, there's no way. And I've already lost my place, so I have to go figure out where I am after finish recording this. So that is my child size feather wing shawl. Go check out the pattern. It's really cool if you need a wing type shawl in your life. Not sure what the practical applications are, but it's a really gorgeous piece. So I'm really excited. And yeah, that's everything I have for this episode. So stay tuned for the tester call on this. Make sure you're following the destash account, and I'll post it on my regular account too as well, the when it goes live, fiber.and.fox. Maybe subscribe to the mailing list if you want to make sure that you're in the know. And hey, if you want to subscribe here too, I'd love to have you. Thank you for hanging out with me and talking yarny things and listening to my rambles. I appreciate all of you, and I will see you next time in episode 40. And we're almost to 3,000 people, and there's going to be a giveaway soon, so stick around. See you then. Thanks, guys. Bye.